welcome back to Pass and Move. And for today's episode, we have a game against Manchester City as promised. So it's the 1st of January 2020. The January transfer window is of course open. And as you can tell, it's a very interesting season this year. So, we're in 4th place, isn't the best of things entirely, but we do have 2 games in hand on the league leaders, Southampton. Yes, Southampton are on their way to winning the Premier League. And just to show you what type of crazy season it is, Southampton obviously, winning the Premier League as mentioned, but Arsenal are down here in 14th. You've got Everton performing fairly well considering how they got relegated last year. It's been a crazy, absolutely messy season, and we need to try and capitalize on how everyone's losing, everyone's winning, everyone's, all that sort of business, and try and break ahead of the pack. Southampton are starting to do that, which is a bit of a worry, but if we do win our 2 games in hand, which is, I think, including today's game against Manchester City, then that does put us at 6 points, means 41, so we'll just be 3 points away from them, and then we can seriously start to put some pressure on them. But yeah, today's obviously a huge game, not only because we are playing Manchester City, but also because they are on 5th. They are 3 points away from us. They're going to be trying to close that gap on us. We need to try and open a gap on them, because not only are we just trying to separate ourselves from one of the top teams in the league, but also because we want to try and avoid dropping out of the Champions League spots. The minimum expectation from the board, as always, is Champions League football. We're aiming for the title, so we have to at least make sure we meet the board expectations. So it's a huge game as always, and in terms of what happened since the last episode, we did show you those 2 games against Porto and Southampton. Very disappointing episode last time around, but we managed to put that behind us with the 3 games in a row winning. 1 against West Brom, 5-1, Lacazette getting a brace, and Mane with a hat-trick. Really good to see him on the score sheet once more. Rondon tried to give his team some hope, but it was never going to happen. Stoke away from home, we managed to win 2-1, having conceded the first goal, so it was nice to see us turn that game around and complete a comeback through Lacazette and get all 3 points. Difficult away from home as well, of course. Chelsea, we were at home. Mauro Icardi again scored first, and we managed to complete the turnaround before even half-time through Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah. Against Crystal Palace, though, they ended our little winning run there, I suppose. I was trying to prove that it was just a blip the last episode, but then they came in and still scored through James McArthur in the 71st minute, and we couldn't manage to even get a draw out of that game, unfortunately. So we head into the City game on the back of a loss. Hopefully the players are fired up, but yeah, we just need all 3 points. There's no way around it. Also, even though we did get knocked out of the Champions League in the group stages, apparently that means we're in the Europa League first knockout round. So there you go, the 2 legs against Feyenoord, back to back, I suppose. And in terms of the board expectations, they just want us to reach the final, but that is actually going to be a huge task, because the likes of Barcelona, yes, Barcelona are in the Europa League, Tottenham, Arsenal, Inter, you can argue those are pretty much our rivals on this side. You've got the likes of Roma, Napoli, I suppose, as well. Some very decent teams as well. Forget the ones I've mentioned. The other ones here are very good, and as you can tell, Manchester City were the ones who won it last season, and that just kind of describes how the Europa League is seriously starting to close the gap on the Champions League at the moment. But anyways, I think we can just get into today's game. Huge game. Don't want to waste too much time talking, and let's get into it. So of course we've got the usual 4-2-3-1 formation. We actually have to take off Mane because he's injured, so let's bring on Kent, and we'll just have to put Fornals on the bench instead. But yeah, Henderson and Fornals, as well as Jorginho and Mane, all with small knocks. They'll hopefully be back soon enough. We've also got Emre Can, who's leaving to Madrid. So we already mentioned, in the last episode, how he's trying to move. He's unhappy because we got knocked out of the Champions League. Because, of course, I promised him about 2 years ago or a year ago that we would win the Champions League. We got into the final last season, and then we lost. He was like, okay, it's fine. You didn't keep a promise. I'll give you another season since we've done so well. But yeah, he's already gotten unhappy, and I just don't want to keep any players who are unhappy. I'm even trying to get rid of Naby, who has interest from Tottenham, I think. I guess that's gone away. But yeah, I just don't want it. Just doesn't make sense. It affects the dynamics, of course. It always says here we are currently unhappy. The dressing room atmosphere, even though it's very good, it can never be, for example, excellent or a full bar, for example, because of these unhappy players, so I'm trying to move them on as soon as possible, even though they're obviously quality players. But you know, you can always get players to replace them. Anyways, this is the team we'll be going with. We've got Lacazette in the striker, we've got Rodriguez in attacking midfield, finally picked up a bit of form, hopefully can carry it into today's game. Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right and Kent on the left, so hopefully these two wingers who are you know, normally considered our backup wingers can make up for the loss of course, Mane on the left, and Chamberlain, we're just giving him a little bit of a go to try and make something out of himself there. Got Chan and Keita or Naby Keita in the central midfield department and defensive midfield, so they're our first choice pairing. They need to try and perform today in what is surely a very difficult game. You've got Guilherme on the left and Trent on the right, so that's a full strength fullback spots taken up. But in defence, we've got Van Dijk, who's our first choice, but Leo Santos overtakes Gomez. And if he can put a good run together, you can expect to see him a bit more frequently. He is, you know, one of our top talents, and if he can just continue to put in a decent run of form, he can definitely be a starter. But Gomez, of course, just being dropped because of recent form. Got Horn in goal, of course, because it is a league game. We'll let the players warm up and get into the fixture itself. Alright then, so they're playing a 4-2-3-1 as well, but we're asymmetric. We've got one defensive midfielder. If need be though, we'll push him up if we need to try and win the game. We've got Bernardo Silva in the City lineup, Jesus, Coutinho, De Bruyne, Gundogan, Berge, Sandro, Stones, Delight, Danilo and Edison. So very, very good team, but they are in 5th, so we do want to punish them a little bit and rub it in their face about how we are the better team. Having said that, we're underdogs for today's game, so we need to try and work this team talk in our favour, as well as work the game in our favour, really. But if we want any hope of challenging for the title, we need all 3 points today. Let's quickly go on key highlights. Let's slow this down, that's too quick. And set replays on. Alright, great, we already have a highlight. Let me just get this out of the way. Okay, so former Liverpool man in Coutinho, of course. We need to try and make sure he doesn't score against us, but they're always fired up, ex-players. Lacazette picks the pocket of Berger really well, but he's going to have to go solo if you have any hope here. He tries to, but he holds the ball up, and instead it's City on the way. Crazy tackle from Santos there, but he gets away with it. Apparently not a foul, so all good to go. And Chamberlain finds the overlapping Alexander-Arnold well. And there you go, that's that partnership. Lacazette's free in the middle. He's hit the post instead, and that could have been a very early 1-0 lead to us, but instead City survive. But let's try and punish them now. Instead, James Rodriguez puts in a poor ball, and City are going to try and punish us instead this time. Okay, Gundogan forced back. Chamberlain cuts out the pass again well. James Rodriguez, can he find Lacazette through? No, he goes by himself, and it's a decent shot, but it's right at Edison. And yeah, again, finishing needs to be a bit better. To try and punish Silva for being injured as well, if we can get him off the pitch, that would be even better. Guilherme tries to deliver a cross from deep, which is a bit unusual, considering complete wing-backs on attack are supposed to deliver from the byline. That gets City going, but they're forced to hold on to possession again, trying to build around us and unlock us, really. So let's see if we can win the ball back and break on them quickly. Jesus, though, does well. Out to Danilo. Stop the cross, stop the cross. Nope, of course not. Two players there, neither of them are going to stop the cross. Kent's the one who cuts out the pass though, so that's good, but Guilherme is playing a bit of a risky football there. Eventually Virgil van Dijk finds Keita, and he's not wasting any time. Lobs it forward to Lacazette, who's gonna have to do it all by himself. Lacazette, can he finish? No, I thought that was a bit of a cross, it looked for a second, but that was definitely just a very poor shot. Had you gone for the cross, it would have been incredible vision. It's even more incredible, I can't say the word vision apparently, but 0-0, and it's very attacking from both teams in these early stages. Alright, Guilherme again delivering from deep. Chamberlain though, oh, he's offside. Referee took a bit long there. I was looking at him the whole time trying to see if he's offside or not. He took a while to raise his flag, but Once it's raised, it's raised. Alright then. At least we're edging closer, but until we actually get the goal, it doesn't matter for anything. And City are slowly beginning to grow into the game as well. So, do have to keep an eye on that. Alright, Lacazette, get us going please. Kent. Find the overlap. Nope, he goes for the cross. Lacazette's free. It's offside again. Oh my god, you guys. Why are we crossing from deep so much? Actually cross from the byline. That's the whole basis of our tactical style. Anyways, we're trying to hit them on the counter again. City are trying to get the numbers back in time. Lacazette again though, and he's through. And this is becoming a bit repetitive. Finishing letting us down again. We do have the set piece though. Nothing's going to come of it if we deliver like that though. Rodriguez with another opportunity. He heads it instead of taking it down or crossing, but that's the end of that. And you have to say, City are kind of lucky that we have such poor finishing, because we would have had a couple of goals by now. Anyways, Naby. James Rodriguez now. She's supposed to be our danger man. Bit of an adventurous pass from our own players there, but Leo Santos cuts it out well. Kent's in the middle. Oh, Lacazette, yes, beauty of a finish. See, he can't finish those easy. He just wants to score wonder goals. That's pretty much it. He doesn't know how to score normal goals. That moves us up into third, but more importantly, opens the gap between ourselves and the champion. Falling out of the Champions League spots. Look at Trent, complete wingback. That's exactly. If you ever wanted to know how a complete wingback plays, this is your fullback right here. The good news is, I was going to say the good news is that Chamberlain's covering him, but apparently not. Either way, Santos is there. This is a decent ball from Kent, and I really did think Lacazette was going to play Chamberlain through, but he didn't. And you can't say he did the wrong thing when he finishes, isn't it? 1-0. We have to do well to keep up the pressure, but I think so far we're having a better game than City without a doubt. Naby, it's been all us. We've had plenty of shots, but haven't done anything dangerous as of yet, but they are trying. And it's Jesus who's going to try and get his team the equalizer. Finds De Bruyne really well, can't cut out the shot apparently. Poor judgment from Virgil van Dijk, to be honest, but it's good that the finish was equally poor. And that was City's first clear-cut chance of the game. They are not out of the match at all. Pass cut out well by Emre Can. Deep line playmaker, of course, keeping an eye on De Bruyne. Lacazette through to James Rodriguez just as the finish. Great. I think I just want to stop this for a second to show you my players who are incapable of finishing, their actual attributes. Look at that. Composure is really good as well, finishing, so that all ties in together. Lacazette, look at that, finishing 17, composure 15. Players who should be absolutely destroying or taking apart City with the chances that they've had, but it only remains 1-0. I'm gonna have to build on this because City are definitely not rolling over, but they are a very tired squad as well, so if we keep our cool we can punish them later on in the game instead. And it looks like we're going to head into half-time with just a single goal lead, so let's try and inspire the players to do more than they have done so far. Pleased with how things are going, and at the same time there's a lot more to come from you. They're ready to walk through walls, so that seems to be the right team talk to do. Silva's off for Sané for City. Let's hope he doesn't have as much, or yeah, let's hope he has as much impact as Silva did, because he did nothing. James. I could see that we were going to score and it excited me so much that I was actually going to call him James instead of James Rodriguez. But there you go, he made up for his miss earlier. 2-0 right after the first half. Team talk, and that's exactly why you inspire your players more often than telling them off, or when you're away from home, try to avoid being as demanding or assertive. One hell of a cross from Chamberlain. Got the vision to find James Rodriguez free in the box, and that's exactly why you want that overlapping partnership, because Lacazette dropped and people were confused about what to do. James Rodriguez was free in the box because he's overlapping him, and Kent was there to finish it if James Rodriguez didn't get it. That's exactly the type of football we want to see, so let's hope we see more of it as well. And fair play to James Rodriguez for turning around his first half performance. City though, it is still 2-0, so if they do score now, it's some serious pressure on us to keep our defence together. We've conceded several times in our past few games. Haven't managed to keep a clean sheet in a while, and if we can do that against the likes of City, then that would be a good result. We go for third though. Santos rises, but Sané who picks up the pieces to City. Sandra's under a bit of pressure, but not enough, and it's safely back to Ederson. City trying to play out the back though. If we're smart, we can win it, but I guess it's more important to keep our team shape anyways. Ederson really coming out for the ball here. I thought Lacazette was going to cut it out. Decent ball to Coutinho though. Now we have to be careful of him. De Bruyne switches the ball really beautifully. Danilo into Sané. Berge, oh, we cut it out well. Chamberlain. That was James Rodriguez coming back to defend, by the way, so that's good to see. Lacazette holds the ball up well, finds his teammates, and now that's the telling pass we're looking for, but not the telling finish. That would have been 3-0, game over, and we would have been able to be comfortable. We've technically scored 4 goals today, but 2 of them have been offside, and those 2 are the ones that, you know, long forgotten. You can't exactly count them, can you? Anyways, 60 minutes, we can start to look to make some substitutions, try and rest some players for more important fixtures coming up. Trent Alexander-Arnold could do with a bit of rest, James Rodriguez as well, but Fornells, I don't want to risk him just yet, so we'll keep Rodriguez. Or is there someone? Let's just bring on Origi, why not? The likelihood of Origi coming on for Lacazette, who has plenty of fitness and in good form, might as well just use Divock Origi and just play him as a shadow striker. He is a striker naturally anyway, so playing him in attacking midfield as a shadow striker should suit him still. It's up to the Belgian to prove me right. I'm hoping City are too tired to recover and try and turn this game around. We're doing well so far, and I think it's going to come to the point where I'm just going to tell my players to not play risky football anymore. Last substitution to make, Chan, Keita and Arana. Guilherme. Let's take off Naby. No, Henderson's injured, damn it. Guilherme. Chan. No, apparently not. No, I'm sorry boys, don't want to risk you. There's Kent though. Salah? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll just move Chamberlain across. And there you go. Can we do those changes quickly, please? Alright. Okay, well, there's already a highlight, but I just want to do this, which is dribble less, work the ball into box, so we're not playing too risky. We're still staying on control. We don't want to go into container or anything, but just not risk things like that so City don't score. So let's hope they don't do that now. Okay, Salah does well there. Origi, come on, show us your shadow strikerness. Just deliver the cross, that's all that's needed. I can't even do that apparently. City survive. And they come at us again. Coutinho deep where we want him to be, but that's one hell of a pass. Thankfully Santos is alive to it, and Trupe can play it safely back to Emre Can, and he finds the dangerous Egyptian Mo Salah. What can he do? Yeah, decent switch I suppose. Chamberlain now on the left. Does well there. Naby through. Nope, he goes safely back to Can, and it's Origi on the ball now. Lacazette's free, finds him. Salah. Boys, if we just punish City with every chance we've got, it would have easily been 6-0 by now. Immediate highlight after those tactical changes were implemented, so let's see what happens now. One hell of a ball from Chamberlain to find Salah, and he goes to Lacazette, holds the ball up well, and does even better to find Trupe. Salah. We're doing really well here, but that's a poor pass. Trupe's found out by Coutinho. If we can recover, Jesus makes the run in the channel. He goes back to Coutinho, through to De Bruyne. And he was always going to finish that, and that is poor play all round. Caught on a counter-attack. My players couldn't recover into their positions in time. You have to wonder why Can didn't really go for it. Baffled by Jesus, and Coutinho can find De Bruyne really easily. And it may start to get to the point where we have to go into contain mode. Last 10. Coutinho though, fired up. Manchester City coming at us. De Bruyne. Have to stop this before anything happens, but Sané's on it now to win it and get out of our place. Oh, get out of our area. City are making me nervous. Told my players to concentrate, but you get the feeling that just made them even more nervous. When we said that, the body language says that they're composed. Alright, let's go into contain. Take a breather, play even safer. And I can't ask them to be any less stupid with the ball than I am right now. And the way City caught us out on the counter there before suggests that they are trying to play on the counter. So if we're just smart with how we play, we shouldn't be found out. But there's a highlight here that I don't like. To be honest, in the last 10 minutes, I don't want to see a highlight, even if it's in my team's favour. Just, you know, if they score, they score. I'm not going to score like that though, Origi. Okay, it's good to see no one nervous, everyone composed. Set piece delivery, safely to Chan. Origi free in the box, taken out by Fejsa, I suppose. Lacazette though, don't lose it, he's going to lose it. Oh, he's going to lose it, of course he is. That's the worst thing about holding, when your player needs to hold up the ball. Jesus is free on the counter. Okay, good, there you go. Closed the angle well there, whoever that was. No, Horn, it would be stupid of Horn to have conceded at that point. Near post though. City's pressure continues with the corner. Force Jesus all the way back. Nope, he just cuts in and finds it. Almost found Coutinho well. It's all the way back to Danilo. Can we end this highlight please, game? Thank you. Alright, let's kill the game. Absolutely kill it. Squeeze the life out of it, boys. Alright. Chan. Referee, please. Yep. There you go. 2-1. So again, we couldn't keep the clean sheet and we possibly could have finished better than we could have today. But all that matters is the 3 points and how we were underdogs. Nobody gave us a chance and yet we won against Carlo Ancelotti's men. Or Ancelotti, I think it rather is. But yeah, 3 points is incredibly important. So Chan of course leaving to Madrid. I think if you saw there in the schedule on the 4th, because of course that's when the La Liga's transfer window opens. I'm looking into bringing in a deep line playmaker. We can have a quick look at that. But also of course Klein left already. We didn't want him anyway, so we finally managed to sell him off. The other 2 players that we're trying to get rid of, Alex Telles is, or 3 rather, Telles is leaving to either Bournemouth or Guangzhou, depending on who you know, manages to type the contract. Also trying to get rid of Ozan as well as Lallana, and if we can do that, that'd be really good. You know, huge wages off our backs here. We got about 80k in Alex and about 100 each from Lallana and Ozan, so that's huge wages off our back, and then we can do well. So just to give you an idea on the type of deep line playmakers we're looking at, I've inquired into these 3. Just show you how I try and find players. I've got this age set at most at 24 because I'm trying to look at backup youngsters with potential. We've got competent position as a defensive midfielder, a role comfortable with being a deep line playmaker at least partially, ability 2.5 stars because that should be enough to be ready for the Premier League and for our squad, and potential at 5 stars because I didn't expect to find anyone at 5 stars, but apparently there's 3 options here. I've also got of course the attributes for deep line playmaker set at 12, minimum of 12, and matching 7 off the 10. And then I've got the personality at not balanced, personality is not balanced, and then I, you know, just try and find anyone with positive personalities. So the likes of Fernandes, for example, he's got a resolute personality, he's a wonder kid, perfect player for us to buy. Well, I'm hoping to unsettle him from Benfica there. We've also got the ambitious wonder kid in Mikel here. And we've also got Manchester City's 37.5 value. To be honest, he's unlikely to be the one that we can invest in. These 2, the clubs definitely don't want to sell them, but they are valued at much less, so we can possibly bring them in still. I've inquired, so it's hopefully going to unsettle him. Benfica don't want to sell, but if we can unsettle him well enough, then that means we can definitely buy him. He's interested himself, and the same can be said about Mikel here. And whoever we manage to unsettle is better. To be honest, Sander is the most ideal player to bring in because 21 years of age. Problem is his wages. He's very comfortable playing in defensive midfield as a deep line playmaker. He's got the attributes for it, the personality, the play short, simple passes thing. My main issue with him is that even though he's a youngster, potentially actually is ready he's very much can be a first choice option with that 4-star rating there. I mean, he's better than Chan as well, so that's a bit of an issue. But not, it's a good issue to have, not a bad one. But anyways, just to quickly wrap up the episode, we'll be talking about when we're back. That's the fixture that we showed you for January, so you can assume any of these matches here we won't be showing. Of course, we're in the Carabao Cup semi-final as well by beating West Brom there. So we'll be back in February. So in terms of when we'll be back, probably that Arsenal game here seems to be an important one. They are in 15th place though, so might avoid showing it unless by the time we reach there, they're in the better position. We might show you just the Europa League back-to-back double-header Feyenoord. That would be interesting to show you as well. Middlesbrough and West Brom, not particularly interesting opponents. And let's see how February does. But more importantly, let's try and finish off January strong. But anyways, that's all for today's episode. So if you did enjoy it, then of course, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more Daily Football Manager 2018 content. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, guys, thank you all very much for watching.